Hello everybody, this is Jean. Today I'm doing week 8 of Nina Ribena's Journal Prompts and More challenges. This is the last of this month's theme, which is based on recycling, and I'm still using security envelopes. So here I'm cutting down the sides of the envelope so I can open them up and then trimming off the edges. I was always going to make some sort of booklet, but here in my mind it was going to be quite a rough and ready one. So these are the security envelopes with windows in, which are the bane of my life because we can't recycle them where I live. And so here I'm just folding them up, trying them out, because I want to make a feature of the windows. This is a package that I received from a well-known online store that I buy a lot of things from. Here I'm removing the handles from a brown paper bag, which I'm going to use to cover that package you just saw, and then that's going to be the cover of my booklet. This is another trick from Lorrie Marie Jenkins, and I'll leave the link to that below. Here I'm Mod Podging and then sticking that bag into place. And it makes a nice sturdy cover. I'm just trying out here the arrangement of the envelopes so that I get the windows in the places that I want them. So I'm happy with that. So now I'm going to try and stitch them together. Here I'm marking out where I'm going to put the holes, and here I'm making the holes using a telephone directory behind and a pokey tool. Now I'm going to use what's called a 5-hole pamphlet stitch, but I don't show all of this. It's not easy to show on the camera anyway. There are videos all over YouTube that will show you how to do this a lot better than I can. Here I've started to stitch the pages together. And here I'm just tying off the threads. It's the end of the process. I'm tying off the thread on the outside of the book. Originally I was going to leave the threads long and dangle things off them, but then I covered the book in the end anyway, so I didn't do this. This is a load of junk mail now, and I'm just auditioning it to see if it fits in the windows. These really are pieces that have come through the post. And I have a pile of rejects and a pile of things that might work. So I just use a glue stick to stick down my first piece of junk mail. Just trying it out there to see where I want it behind the window. And then I'm Mod Podging here, and I'm doing it very carefully around the window, and then I just Mod Podge the whole of the rest of the page and stick the pages together. And I do this for all of the bits of junk mail in all of the windows, except for one where I've got two windows facing each other that I've got another plan for. So that's the inside of the book sorted. I've now gone on to the outside cover, and I found this phrase that was, while I was sorting out the junk mail, I think, it says create something wonderful, and then surrounding that with a little wooden tag. Now this is a technique again from Lorrie Marie Jenkins, and I have put the link to this below, using duct tape, metallic duct tape. So here I'm using it to cover the frame to start with, because it won't be easy to cover that once it's on the actual cover of the book. And then I'm painting it black. And then removing most of the black paint, and it just gives that nice patina to it. And I'm going to do that to the whole of the book cover. So, but I need some texture on there first. So here I'm using texture paste through a stencil to add some steampunky cogs and some more. And then I've used some drywall tape and a key, an old key, and these are those paper clips. You'll see that more clearly when I've actually put the stuff on it. So here I'm adding the duct tape, really showing the first couple of pieces. And then you need to rub over the textured parts. So I'm using a little tool here, which I think I used to use for embossing with a light box in the old days of brass stencils. And then here, where it's a bit more sensitive because they're a bit more raised up, I'm using a cotton bud just to bring up the texture. It really is worth watching Lorrie Marie's video on this because she's a really good teacher. I had stuck that frame down with tacky glue, but then I decided to stick it down with glossy accents. And then we've got the same procedure as before, cover it all in black and then wipe most of it off. And it leaves that nice distressed looking metal effect. And that is my book cover. Right, I've done some work on this since you last saw it, but mostly in front of the television, so I can't really show the process. But most of it was sticking things in with a glue stick, so not very exciting. The cover hasn't really changed very much, except that I've added a ribbon closure connected with a Tim Holtz number brad. Originally I thought I was going to use this as a sort of practice book for techniques for my altered book, but I've nearly finished my altered book now, and so it's a bit late for practicing. The inside has changed quite a bit, and you'll see it's sort of changed into a sort of journal. I don't use these sorts of journals, so I'm not really sure what I'm going to do with it. I might just keep it and look at it, or I might give it away. The inside's changed quite a bit. Mostly it's got much tidier. I didn't mean to do this, but I can't help myself. I'll go through the pages one by one and so you can see where I've tidied it and what I've done. I've added washi tape and a piece of 8x8 scrapbook paper to the inside cover. I've got loads of scrapbook paper, so I don't mind using that up. I've tidied the first page with some washi tape, and I've added the word create and a stamp which came from Happy Mail. The picture behind the window is from junk mail. That is mail that was unsolicited, that's gone through my letterbox. And all the pictures in this book are from junk mail. In the end, though, I allowed myself to use other bits and pieces. The flowers on this page are flowers that my mother made. She was a great crafter and she used to do a lot of parchment craft, pergamano, and these flowers are some of hers. Again, I've tidied up the pages with washi tape. I added some pockets to this page and did a bit of stamping, and again the washi tape is in much evidence. The tags are from Happy Mail and I really can't remember where they're from. I know some of them are from Kylie, some of it's from Crystal, some of it's from Marsha. There are all sorts of bits. I think that bit of Happy Mail was from Crystal. Now this page, I put the two windows together so that I could suspend a heart in the middle of the pages. The heart I cut out of an old attempt at a Nina page, and then I think I just put some more of that page on the back of it and added a couple of charms and words and things. And the other bit on that page is from Happy Mail, and I've just given it a bit of a distressed look. And I've used packing tape, sort of gummed packing tape that you have to lick to stick on the back, and stamped it. The other bits on that page are from Happy Mail, and I've done some stamping. Now this page is very much junk mail. The flowers are the flowers that I showed in my last project, made in the same way anyway. The actual materials come from a catalogue from a do-it-yourself shop, and there was writing all over all of it, but I was able to tear out bits behind the writing, so purple and blue, and some of it's actually got writing on it. I think there's a little bit of black in there as well. The bird came from a postcard, I think, and the little sticker was from Marsha. And there's some stamping on there. Oh, and there's also some, I think it's a forerunner. I've had it for years and years and years. It's a forerunner to washi tape, I think. It's sort of paper tape that's gummed on one side, and I've got all sorts of bits of it. So I've used them all up in this book, and you'll see them on other pages as well. So there's a bit here on the front, inside the front cover. This page is full of little pockets, which have all got tags inside them, and I think most of these I've received in Happy Mail. And then this is a little folder at the bottom with 2 tiny tags in. I think it was these 8 pocket folders that I first saw Dee from Betsy Doodle make. This page has just got 2 photographs. They came from an advert for the Royal Opera House live cinema performances, and so I put them opposite each other. And the butterfly here is also something that my mother made, as well as pergamano. She used to do painting on silk, and so this is a butterfly, a silk butterfly that's been painted. And then the final page, I've just done some stamping, again that gummed paper, and some more of that paper tape. So there's my completed journal, or whatever it is. I hope you've enjoyed watching the flip through. There's the back of the journal that I don't think I've shown you before. There will be some still photographs at the end, not really particularly close-ups, I don't think. So I'll just say thank you for watching. Please subscribe if you haven't already done so. Click the little notifications bell if you want to hear about other videos that I'm making. Share if you have the facility for doing that. See you all again soon, I hope. Bye for now.